Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm in the east nuke of Fife and I'm going to go and show you a couple of places to take some images. I was hoping for dark and moody because that seems to be the fashion these days, doesn't it? Very dark and miserable photographs where people have taken an image and then just underexposed to make it dark and moody. And you know what? I might end up doing that today as well. I try not to underexpose. I'll try and get a correct exposure and make something out of it. It's just not as dark and miserable as I thought it was going to be today. But where I am, I'm at St Monans just now, and it's the home of the Wiggly Pier. And it's high tide, so it's probably not the best time. It's quite a calm sea, to be honest, so there'll be no drama, but it shows you where I am, and you can come here and do something similar if you can get up the ladder. You'll see that shortly. Best time to be here is probably not quite high tide and with lots of waves, so I get lots of drama. That's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do just now is take a photograph not long after high tide, so it's a bit of a slack tide at the moment. So I've walked in from the main town itself, which is over there, and walked along the pier here, and this is the main harbour just in front of me. This is basically two harbours, and this is the outer wall as I bring the camera around, and we're heading along here and going to go up and onto the wall just along there. So it's a fairly short ladder, but there's no handrails. You've got to hold onto the ladder, and the handrail's at the top. So make sure you take hold of the handrails. You don't want to fall off the other side of there. And that's the Wiggly Pier. So in the past I've gone for this direct view looking out here, but I might try and incorporate this great big lump of concrete down here that the water's just coming over, and that leads in. So if I take the image from over here, I get that in the foreground and then the Wiggly Pier. So I've set myself up precariously on the edge of the wall. I've got a gradual ND, or what do you call it, variable ND on the lens, but I can't see much through it at the moment, so I need to adjust my settings. There you go, and now I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to compose that in a way that looks quite good. And the question is, the big question is, do I go all out for a big long exposure, or do I try and capture the nice waves that are down there? I think what I'll do is I'll capture the nice waves and see how that comes out, and then go for the full long exposure. So I've got 3 seconds set up just now, as in a 3-second delay, but my speed is a 15th. So 3-second delay. Oh, it's not going to look nice there. That's not nice. That's not good. So I want to time this water so it looks good on the rock. It's a bit better. See, with the tide going out, there's going to be less and less water on that rock, so I've got to wait for the bigger wave to come in. That looks like a big one coming now. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a bit better. I'm just going to take another one. That's nice. Take another one. No, that's not going to be any good. There's water coming in now. 3-second delay is a lot when you're doing this. I'm not really getting what I want. That's a bit better. That's nice. I'm going to zoom in on that. And the biggest problem was I don't think it's even in focus. So I've got to try and get the focus a bit better. So F11, shooting down there, everything should be in focus. Take a picture. looks reasonable. Let's just check the focus. And I might even have glasses in here somewhere. No, probably don't. Let's just check that focus. That looks okay. Back out there looks okay. So looks in focus all the way through, which is exactly what I want. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take the exposure delay just down to a second, because trying to time the waves with that 3 seconds is very difficult. So effectively just keep taking images and pick the best one at the end. You won't get a brilliant picture the first time. I'm not expecting a brilliant picture at all. It's a nice bit of movement there, but it didn't really show up much on the camera. I've got to get a big wave like that. 1, 2, go on. That's better. That's a lot better. The biggest one there going back. So what happens is the wave comes in, hits this wall, and then goes back again. So sometimes you get one and back. So sometimes you get 2 waves coming at the same time. Really just try to get that foreground interest. Let's have a look, see what that's like. Right, I've still got a bit of wind here as well, that I can see a little bit of a vibration on the camera, which is not good. It's maybe not the best tripod in the world, this. Let's just say, it's not the best tripod in the world, end of story. Right, my sky's burning out, so what I'm going to do is, because my sky's burning out, I'm going to take the speed up a little bit. I'm making the image darker. I'm taking the speed up a little bit. I'm actually adjusting the f-stop there. That's not what I want to do. I want to keep the f-stop the same. Adjust my speed so that I can get the sky without burning out. Okay, so there's a bit of burnout on that one. Just take it a bit more. So a nice dark image with a tiny bit of burnout in the middle. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But just in case, let's just really take it down. Very, very dark photograph now, which is not a problem for me. And I'll use that, if I've lost the detail in the sky with a nice image here in the foreground, I can blend the 2 later. So that's cool. So now let's see if I can do a long exposure and see what comes out. So if I take this back, so I'm actually quite a high ISO, actually, it's a very high ISO. Done it again, I've not been concentrating on my ISO. So for that 100 ISO, it's about 1/10 of a second, 1/8 of a second there. That wasn't a good image, that's going to be boring. Big wave coming. That's nice. That was a lot better. So I brought the ISO down, and bringing the ISO down sometimes helps you in photography, sometimes it doesn't. I like to try and get it a bit low, but with this camera, 400 ISO is actually just as good as 100 ISO. Big wave. That's a lot of water on that rock, that's fantastic. So, as I said, let's have a look at, I just keep taking photographs while I talk. Let's have a look at taking some really long exposures and see what it looks like. Now, taking a long exposure with a camera like this, not with a camera like this, but with a tripod like this could be quite risky. But how to do this is, I'm sitting at 100 ISO. I really want to lock in my focus, so I go to my speed menu, go to my focus, click on manual focus. Now it was set for down here. I've now got the peaking on so you can see everything is in focus, which is really good. Because what happens when I turn this variable ND, I'm not going to see a thing. So I'm going to turn that now. Oh, lost my image. Return that until it goes very dark. Okay, and then I'm going to adjust the speed until I get something showing. Oh, that's not a good image. It's gone too far. Right. So there's markers on there's markers and an arrow, and you should use the arrow. There we go. I've gone too far. If you go too far, you end up with a big cross in your image, and that's not good. So let's see what that does. So I'm looking at, that's bulb, that's no use to me. I'm going to try 4 seconds just now. That's quite nice, but I really wanted more water on the rock here. That's come out looking okay. Just going to zoom in on that. There might be vibration. That looks okay. I'd love to do that a bit longer. There's a way of doing this and I can't quite remember how to do it, so hang in there with me. Oh, whirly bird. T, menu, okay, so when your memory fails you and you can't remember how to adjust things, use Google. It's fantastic. So for this camera, right, to get a lower speed than say 1/4 of a second, move the dial to the 1/3 there. But yeah, you just adjust here, and I can adjust, actually it's the front one, move the front one, and I get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, got 5, 6, 8 seconds, it starts to burn out, and I'm on the maximum here on the wheel, so that's as dark as it can go. I don't think there's anything else I can do. I don't want to adjust the f-stop too much. F-stop's 11 just now, so if I adjust that a little bit to 13, to 14, to 16, I get a nicer image. So what I'm going to do is take the image. It's black just now because it's taking the image, and you should see it come up. So I got a bit of burnout there, so I could go a little bit slower, a little bit faster, should I say, a bit faster. So I'm at 8 seconds just now. If I go to 6 seconds, still getting burnout, but I can deal with that, and it's something you just have to deal with. Right, so I've got a couple of images there. I just want to zoom in on them and see how they look. So the foreground is going to be slightly blurry because it's underwater. The wall in front of me looks reasonable, and it looks okay further out. Take my glasses off, it might see better. Believe it or not, I see better with my glasses off. That's looking okay. So I've moved the camera, I'm going to take another image. Wait for the water to get a bit better. Oh, we're starting to get spray, that's not good. The wind is really picking up now. I said it was quite calm, it's actually getting quite choppy now. Could be much better later on. So taking my image, so it's a 3 second delay, and then 1 second delay, and then the 6 seconds. And what I want to do now is make it even darker. So I want to darken the sky a lot. Try and get myself an image of the sky that looks better. Looks very dark to the side for some reason. I'm going to bring it back up again. Yeah. So I'm just going to check my position. Right. Going to take another couple of shots, see how I get on with that, and then I'm going to head home again. So it's been good doing this. I've enjoyed it. I'm out in the fresh air, thoroughly enjoying the fresh air. Getting a nice bit of wind, but it's not cold yet. It's still September. It's still technically some form of summer, and I'm enjoying it. Oh, there's a bit of shake on that. There was a bit of shake on that, a bit of shake on there. Let's take another one. Okay, it could just be getting too shaky now. Yeah, it's looking a bit messy now. So for St Monans, I'm going to wrap up and head along the coast a little bit, and I might come back here and see what it's like when the tide's down. But I'm thinking I've probably got the best shots I'm going to get, so maybe I should just stay with what I've got and concentrate on the ladies' tower further along there and try and get some nice moody shot. And before this camera and maybe this one gets blown over, I think it's time to say bye from here. I'll catch you at Lady Tower.